This episode was brought to you by Damian Ross Mortgages, helping homeowners and buyers understand how their mortgages shape long-term wealth, not just monthly payments. Book a free consultation for clarity before your next move.
Find your path with the knowledge of others and become an illuminator for those who struggle. Guide their way just by being true and being in alignment, because it comes naturally to you. On self-discovery wisdom, we share to find inspiration with lessons for millions. We hope you listen.
Welcome back to another edition of Choose Positive Living right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest today is John Edwards Ryan. Positivity, how are we going to talk about that? He says his mission is to help human beings flourish in what has become the most wonderful, awful world. I love that expression. So he says, who is he? He grew up in a small family dairy farm in the hills of Madison County, Hardscrabble Road. It was the simple, old-fashioned childhood you read about in books and see on Christmas cards. He uses his middle name Edward because it was his father's name, and he's proud to be his son. He was truly a great man, and you will hear more about him in our conversation today. He worked on the farms through high school and became a shop kid. Leather shop, wood shop, metal shop, axe shop, mechanical things were easy for him. He loved to fix up old snowmobiles, dirt bikes, and tractors. His brothers and buddies loved the thrill of riding the old machines they couldn't afford to buy, so Cobb together rode and ultimately destroyed. And he worked as an apprentice at high school, becoming a journeyman toolmaker in the local factory. As a shop guy, he certainly loved the tools and the widgets, but he loved one thing more. And just like Ed, he loved people. Talking, telling stories, laughing. He thinks of himself as the professional optimizer. He started a shop class to combine best elements of heroic coaching, financial fundamentals, with the third element, urgency. His mission is to help human beings flourish and in what has become the most wonderful, awful world. And today is this greatest day to be alive. I love that optimism. He's passionate and positive, and he's highly concerned that we are racing towards chaos. I would say that we're in it. In his shop class, you'll get a dose of high frequency optimism and a profound, urgent message from a man who has died 3 times, been defibrillated twice, and I am alive to tell the stories. And, coming back from that, I think it gives you a different perspective on life altogether. So we're going to be talking about all of this today. He has a free gift for you later on. And, it's a lot of people that think being optimistic is not being realistic. And I think it's the choice of looking at realism through optimistic eyes that we have the power to change what's not working. Welcome to the show, John.
Sarah, thank you very, very much. And I really do believe it is the most wonderful, awful world. And I steal that directly from the great Dr. Seuss. If you're familiar with how the Grinch stole Christmas, he had a wonderful, awful idea, right? So,
yes.
The bad does come with the good. And the world we live in has an abundance of both. And I like how you said it. When you look at reality through optimistic lenses, through an optimistic framework, it really does make your life more satisfying, more fun. And so for me, I believe that I've been blessed so much. My life has been so good. And yet I, have had some very challenging experiences. I've had some
awful ones.
some awful. Yes. And I think for me, it shaped the way that I see the rest of my life. And I have been able to make choices, right? I've been able to choose to do things, choose to work with people and do something that I love. And so my entire mission is to help people figure out their own unique path to feeling really good about what they do, feeling really good about their finances, doing what's important, kind of living a mission-driven life,
Yes.
which is easier said than done. Would you agree?
I think, staying on mission, kind of
Yes.
having a mission is one thing, but then staying on it amongst the chaos, because very often it's like a roller coaster and you think you're going to get tossed off any minute. And it's how do we stay on it? How do we pivot? How do we calm down and just ride the wave and then, find an exit somewhere along the line?
Yeah.
And, who hasn't gone through some things that are awful?
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
life is about. And I think we see the awful in order to actually understand the wonderful. Do we really take the wonderful for granted, or are we really grateful for it once we've come from awful?
Ooh, yeah. Being grateful for even, the challenges and the negative experiences, is again, it's not easy, but it is simple, right? If
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
keep that optimistic point of view, and how do you find that, right? If you find yourself being driven towards the negative by the world as it is today, by the news and the things that are not going in our favor, finding an anchor and finding some way to stay positive and move forward with fun and with joy, that's a big part of what I teach people to do. And so shop class is just this very practical approach to life where you look at the things that you what are you drawn to? What
Mm,
are you what is your work now? What do you wish you were doing? And you kind of have to solve problems
yes.
in an approach where you're looking from about three different angles at the same time, right? So you're thinking about your time. What are you doing with your time? What is your financial position? Typically, if we're trying to move in a direction and do something better on a day-to-day basis, money becomes involved. So time
Mm,
and money, and then whatever core problem that it is you're trying to solve, if you can be working on all three of those pieces of your life at the same time, moving in a good direction, and really being open to your purpose and to your mission, that's what it's all about. And again, it is easier said than done, but for me, it's about just really being open and honest with yourself,
mm.
loving yourself enough to engage in a process, and really, in a lot of cases, ask for help. That's something I had.
Oh, yeah. A novelty for a lot of people, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're standing out in the rain saying, I'm getting wet. And somebody could give you some advice to move into some shelter. No, but I'm getting wet. Yeah, but just move into the shelter. It's like, we very often get stuck in a
Yes.
trauma of something, in something that's happening that's so beyond our control, and we get so traumatized by where we're at that we don't realize that the solution is all around us.
Yeah.
And just simply turning around to someone, what do I do? Because we are paralyzed in the moment, and somebody else can go, well, just do this. And it may say, yeah, but what's that difference is that going to make? When, how about you try and see? And very often it's just simply getting out of the situation you're in, out of the groove you're in, even
Ooh,
if it's
yeah.
one step, in order to be able to start seeing something different.
Yes. You just said something very important there to shake yourself out of the groove you're in. I like to
Yes,
think of it, if it's going poorly, it's a rut, right?
yes,
If it's going
yes,
well, it becomes a groove.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I talk with people again about it's kind of a three angled approach to things. And I think of it this way. Think of very simply, human beings, we are born to do two things. If you get these two things right, everything else starts to fall in place. So we're meant to work. right?
Yes.
We have to do something, we have to contribute. And that sometimes just starts out as a job that we don't love. We learn the rhythm of a job, we learn how to earn some money, we learn about people and networks. At some point, hopefully, it can become a career. And then we'll talk as we go a little deeper about maybe you can find or that becomes a calling, right? So
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
work side of things.
Hmm.
The other thing we're meant to do is love, right? So we're
Hmm.
work and love. And that sounds simplistic and it is, but we need to, we love our family, we
Hmm.
love our community. Hopefully we love our neighbor the way we're meant to, but it really does start, we have to love ourself, right? And we need to
100%.
right?
Hmm.
Give ourselves permission, love
Yes.
ourselves. So we've got work and we've got love. And really, the third element, so those are the two things we're meant to do. The third piece is energy, right?
Hmm.
If you've got the energy and you feel good, you wake up in the morning and you're ready to pursue work, you're ready to love and be loved, that creates the triangle in that area, if you will. And so really knowing that the energy is the thing that makes work and love go, how do
Yes.
we accomplish that, right, Sarah? So shop class is practical. Shop
Hmm.
class is the place where you think about these things and we sketch it out and we write and we journal, but we figure out, do you want to know the two areas of the day that we have the most control over, Sarah? You
Getting
ever
up,
thought about this?
choosing to get out of bed.
Yeah,
Very well.
exactly. Right?
Choosing to
So
go to
the
bed.
again, it's a three-part deal, right? We're gonna sleep at some point.
Yeah.
Let's call that a third of the day. We're gonna work or do the thing,
Hmm.
business, whatever that kind of third of the day is. And if we're lucky, there's another third of the day left over to spend time with our family, to work on ourselves, to do all these things. And what I find is that third of the day, the very beginning when you wake up in the morning, and then the evening before you go to bed, those are the bookends, right? The AM
Hmm.
and the PM, I
Hmm.
call those the bookends. And if you can put some rituals
Yeah.
into those parts of the day and start to take care of yourself, in the world of success and in performance coaching, the most classic line is, you think about that airplane when that if something goes wrong and you have to put the mask on, if you've got to get oxygen, you've got to take care of yourself first,
Hmm.
and then you're able to help others. It's used over and over because it's so true and it's so perfect,
Yes. Yes.
right? And so I talk about that. You energy, work, and love, that triangle, the beginning and ending of the day. If you can start to put those under your control and
Hmm.
start to move yourself in a direction where you are feeling better, your energy is up, then you can start to sort out those other two very big pieces of life, work and love, and start to make things happen. That's one
So
of
I
the
go,
most, yeah,
no, I want to address that. So, number one, I like to get up every morning grateful. I've awoken. I've
I
got
love
another day
that.
before me, right?
Yep.
And I look at that optimism, even if I'm waking up aches and pains or I've had a bad night, I'm awake, I have a day before me. That gratitude has an abundance of energy. It's optimism, it's belief, it's
Yes.
it's I am grateful. I do not take this for granted. Right.
Mm,
And of course, going to bed at night, I'm grateful for having had this day and doing what I did do, no matter what your day has been. You got
yes.
through it, or you got through it and it was wonderful. So you have no idea what the day is going to be. But I look at the energy as your generator. And when you step into love, love has its generator of always desiring to share its energy, right? The more love you give, the more you want to give, the more it expands out, the more it has a ripple effect, the more you generate that love. And I think if we
Yes.
can step into the loving generator of that energy and bring it to everything that we do, now that does not mean that there's going to be some aspects of the day you don't like doing. But
Oh, absolutely.
what we do is look, in order to get to that, I've got to do this. Instead of going, oh, I've got to do this. It's like, okay, you know what? Just let's get it done so I can enjoy
Yeah.
that. And I
Yes.
think, I think what we become a society of lackitude instead of gratitude.
Yeah.
And if we're focusing on what I don't have or what society isn't giving me or this, that, etc., we're feeding that negativity. When we look at gratitude with a positive attitude, which I interviewed a 10-year-old who written a book about that, right? Simple
That's
gratitude with
beautiful.
a positive attitude. And we forget that simplicity is the answer. And like
Hmm.
simply, I choose to embrace today aches and pains, or I've got a lot on my plate. You know what? I am going to give it all I've got. I'm going to receive all I can. And I'm going to give, and just enjoy the best that I can of this day and in any which way. If we look at it from the lackitude, oh God, I've got to get through this day. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. You're automatically draining yourself and you don't have the energy to get through,
100%.
right?
Yes. Yes, Sarah, that is beautiful. The gratitude, and I love how you said the word energy, the energy generator,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And gratitude is so powerful. And that's one of the things that has driven me towards this mission.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very just a beautiful upbringing. I had a wonderful childhood, growing up on a little dairy farm and, ending up in a good job that did become a career and my health was good. There's so much to be thankful for, so many blessings. And I just lived a normal life for a very long time. I was in manufacturing for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I took for granted was my health. And I
Yes.
allowed my bad habits, I allowed my alcohol use,
Mm-hmm.
my drug
Mm-hmm.
use
Mm-hmm.
to, cause me, to slowly my health was moving in the wrong direction. Now, some of it's genetic, right? I
Yeah.
can't say that I caused everything, but I certainly piled on and made things
Yeah.
worse, to the point where in my late 40s, I've had a heart surgery. Now I've been through a near-death situation. My
Mm-hmm.
wife, found me, heard me. She heard all 200 plus pounds of me hit the bathroom floor and knew that something was very wrong. She saved my life. And that's why, when you gave the intro and I talk about having been defibrillated and live to talk about it, the calibration that you get from those
Mm-hmm.
experiences. And it's not, I don't claim some bright light,
Yeah.
some wild epiphany that came in that moment. And that's not to say that that doesn't happen to people.
Right.
It just didn't happen to me.
Right.
What came to me was the wisdom of reliving the experience
Mm-hmm.
through Megan's eyes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
reliving the experience through my children's eyes, how
Yes.
close they came to losing their dad. And so what's happened for me is a very stark, tipping into the second half of life, tipping into an feeling of gratitude that's at a high level, higher than I ever could have imagined, and really a spiritual experience of
Yes.
epiphany, a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual experience of
Mm-hmm.
knowing
Mm-hmm.
that I've got a responsibility that what I've been given as a gift. I fell in love with the mission of paying it back. I fell
Right.
in love with the mission of paying it forward and
Mm-hmm.
really helping people find their own blessed and wonderful purpose, so that they can live the rest of their life in a way that they hadn't
Mm.
thought of before. So I'm on fire for those concepts. And I want to talk with you more about the practical, the hands-on nature of how to make
I
that.
just want to get to something first, though. There is something about a particular fall where you know when somebody's just fallen and then get back up, it's a different sound. When somebody becomes heavy weight, that kind of fall is a different sound when someone falls, right? And it sends that alert through. My father had his first heart attack at 40,
Oh,
and he was
wow.
dead by 45,
Oh, wow.
right? Because back then there wasn't change your lifestyle. In fact, they actually said to him, "You've got 3 months to live." Now, my
Oh,
father
wow.
was a fighter pilot in the war. And so for him, he took on the battle. He took on not the life to live, but come on, death, come and get me. And it
Oh,
changed his
wow.
persona. He lived. Had they said to him, change your lifestyle, because my brother also had a heart attack. Turns out they had the same defect in their heart. And my brother became vegan and he
Okay.
changed his lifestyle. He had another heart attack 9 years later, but they said it's because you realize you have a defective heart.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
but your lifestyle stopped that heart attack from killing you,
That's
right?
wonderful. Yeah,
So, we've got to understand you received a cosmic two by four because you hadn't been listening to the nudge, nudge, wink, wink, right?
exactly.
And you were lucky enough to be able to get up from that cosmic two by four
Yeah.
and realize you have to change. Now, there are many people that get many cosmic two by fours before they awaken to the fact, change is necessary here, right?
Yes.
But for
Yes.
you didn't see it through your eyes, you saw it through your family's eyes.
Yes.
And I was 11 when my dad died, and I always resented the fact that he didn't fight to live.
Oh, wow. You did. Yeah.
I did. And it was like, didn't you love us enough to
Oh,
fight to live?
yeah. That's
Right.
tough.
So having you being aware of that, for your wife's eyes, for your children's eyes, I've got to do this for them. I've got to change my lifestyle for them. I can't put them through that again. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is the huge big light bulb that goes off. But what it requires is action and a change of thought, a change of perspective,
Yes.
um, a true diligence in what do I do now that I am not going to go back there again. And then it requires participation,
Yes.
actual action in, yes, I know I need to do this, but doing it, right?
Yes. You are so wise, Sarah. Yeah, that participation is the key. You can read a lot of great books and you can think a lot of great thoughts even, but actually doing something differently and
Yes.
adopting a belief system that serves you and adopting an optimism and a really a way of having faith that you don't have to understand everything. You don't
Yes.
have to
Right.
understand how the universe works. Just accept
Trust it.
that the voice, your own voice, the things that will not go away, that
Right.
tell you what you should be doing,
While you were listening, yeah. Yeah.
that it's genuine and that it's, even if it does make your life a little, different or it makes your life, uncomfortable in a way that you didn't expect, pushing through it and participating. I love
Yeah.
that. I'm going to adopt that. Becomes very profound and it just puts you on a path where you feel a little lighter. You feel a
Yes.
little that energy comes up and the work and the love start to make sense in a way that they didn't before. That's the gift, and that's the
Well,
thing
that's the
that I
gift of gratitude,
yes, yes,
right?
yes.
That's when you go, okay, I was unaware that the path that I was taking was detrimental to me. Now, I
Mhm.
knew it at the back of my head intellectually, I shouldn't do this, but hey, man, I'm functioning, right?
Yes,
Until
yes.
you're not.
Yep.
And how many people, people say, oh, this happened to me. And I said, this happened for you.
Hmm.
Cancer, divorce, a loss of a job, maybe even near loss of life. It was that great big cosmic two by four saying, I've been trying to get your attention. You have not been listening. I'm going to flatten you. But from this, I want you to rise as a phoenix in a new light, in a new appreciation for the gift that you are and what you're here to do.
Yeah. Sarah, you get it in a way that's rare. The cosmic two by four.
Mm,
It's hard for me to explain sometimes to people that when that two by four hit, it hit hard And again, my wife, I could point out all the little things that had to be just perfect for my
Hmm.
wife to be there, for me to be alive, and for everything to be okay. But I love that you pointed out because I had other opportunities to learn the lesson. I had other
Hmm.
smaller sticks
Yeah.
ups
Yes.
about my head and shoulders that I did ignore.
Yeah.
And I can pinpoint them. I don't need to try to convince anybody today, but I can pinpoint times where I knew the lesson and I
Mm.
chose
Yes.
to just be that youthful, foolish person again. And I chose
I'm having fun.
and not graduate out of that phase or season of my life. And I could have avoided a more dramatic turn
Way
of
of doing.
events. Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
absolutely.
the big question comes into why was I so resistant? What was I so afraid of pivoting before I got the cosmic 2 by 4? Why did I not recognize that this practice does not serve me anymore? Because so often we attach an identification to the person that drinks or the person that takes the drugs or the person that does this and that. Workaholics is an addiction, so many addictions in so many ways. And people don't realize that what they're doing excessively of is almost trying to run away from who they are. And we really need to address why did I do that? Why did I not pay attention to the signs? Because if you don't ask that why, you're going to subliminally do it again.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
address the root cause in order to look at that root and say, I'm sorry, you're a weed. I'm pulling you out. You no longer serve me. I'm planting something different here.
Yeah. That's a great question. Um, the ego, the
Hmm.
identity, that part of you that is very strongly attached to who you were, that anchor of who you were, the addiction itself. There's
Hmm.
all these different things that come together that is like a gravity
Yes.
holding you in the identity, holding you in the pattern that you once upon a time really enjoyed and has now just become you're kind of a slave to it, I'll admit.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I could come out of the pattern for periods of time, but not permanently
Right.
until I had that epiphany level
Yes.
uh, burst of spiritual, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. I had that moment of dramatic understanding that I'll never forget. And really, we could name it if we want to. The in modern context, Phil Stutz would call it Part X, right? That
Hmm.
force that
Yes.
tries to keep you from your potential. The Bible, they might have called it the devil, they might have called it
Hmm.
Satan, whatever it is that you want to call it. There is a
Yes.
negative force that can work against us. And there is something that you have to actually, overcome or submit to a higher force to be able to make things
So
happen
true.
sometimes.
Absolutely.
I don't,
Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's like if I don't listen to the universe and it speaks to my core, all right, and my core says yes or no, and I don't argue with it. Yes, but no, no. It says no, and you can feel it's like a pushback. Okay, I accept no. If I went against that and I went and did what it told me not to do, guaranteed, I'm laying myself up for another cosmic 2 by 4. All right. And
because
and that's what I kind of call the God within, whatever you want to call it, God,
yes,
universe,
yeah,
source, energy.
yeah,
I think the one thing that people need to understand, everybody has been taught that heaven and hell are when you die, you go to hell or you go to heaven. Heaven and hell exist within us.
yes,
We can create a hell within us. And that is the loss of identity, the loss of meaningful
hmm,
purpose, the loss of spiritual connection, the living in a mindset that is detrimental not only to us, but those around us. Or we can
yes,
live in heaven, which is that gratitude, that positivity, that beautiful, devouring love that you share out in
yeah,
purpose, in practice, in exuding out in the essence who we are. That is heavenly. Why are
I
we
love it.
waiting to die? Why can't we have it in our daily existence?
I love that. And I think you're so right. And I think as a society that all of us, if we could just avoid arguing about the religious these and
Yes.
thous and just accept that it's big, these concepts,
Yes.
the
Kind of take the
universe,
religion doctrine out of it and look at the divine
the
message.
divine, right?
Yes.
God, the
Yes.
universe, spirit,
Mhm.
whatever it is so big and
Yes.
is such a dominant thought idea. We've been talking about this for millennia. Just accept that we don't 100% understand it. Just
Ah,
accept that.
but scientists are. Because what they're doing is they're actually measuring the people that choose to live in this energy. And they're realizing they're living in a higher hertz, a higher frequency. I call that the love frequency. The higher you are, you can't knowingly harm anyone else. To do so is to harm yourself. It is to harm
Unified field.
the unified field of love,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And scientists have now begun to measure that and go, okay, people, it's not woo woo. This spirituality is a heightened hertz. And in that higher hertz, we are healing, not just to ourselves, but to those around us. We're sending off those
Yes.
good vibrations that are actually beneficial to human, animal, and planet kind.
Ah, that's fabulous. And it's one of the reasons why I use the word flourishing when I
Yes.
talk about what I do, right?
Mm,
So we're in agreement, Sarah, that the universal love, universal
mm,
wisdom, the whole enchilada
yeah.
is becoming more well known,
Mm.
more understood.
And more
I,
desired.
yes, yes. My premise that we don't need to necessarily understand it to
Hmm.
be able to connect to it. We don't have to. That's where the
Just
faith.
become it.
Yes.
Just become it.
Just the faith component is my way of saying we don't have to have a scientific
Right.
understanding to benefit from
Yeah.
higher forces that love us.
How
That's
do you feel in that state of being? How do you feel when you're out there and your optimism and love for life comes oozing out of you, and people are around you because they want to absorb that beautiful energy, and you ignite that energy in them? How
oh,
does that make you feel?
I feel taller,
Yeah,
lighter,
yeah,
younger,
yeah,
more energetic.
yeah,
All the
exactly. Is there
above.
a negative component to it? No.
Oh, once in a while I can't sleep. I get too
Oh,
excited.
well, yes, insomnia is part of the thing because we're too busy being recharged at night and off we go. Right, yes. Um,
Oh,
but
yes.
the thing is, what we see across the board, with government, with TV, with religions, woo stuff, wokeism and all of that, and anything that connects us, unites us, and has us share the same positive energy.
Hmm.
Right now, I look at it as that we're all in discovery of what our instrument is, right? And we
Ooh, our
learn how to
instrument,
play.
our instrument. I
Yes,
love
our
that.
instrument. And how do we play our instrument? And we can play solo, we can play very
Yes.
well, and we can have really a great impact. But
Yes.
when we join an orchestra and each in our own strength play together harmoniously, we are transcendent, right? But
That's
that orchestra
yes.
is only as good as each person's
Yeah.
individual instrument. So while everybody out there is going, it's everybody else, turn those fingers back on us. It's us. We want peace and love and harmony in this world. We have to become the peace, love, and harmony. It is what we, each and every one of us, individually bring
Mm.
that
Yeah.
is going to form the collective. And as we see the chaos and the tornado and the hurricane and the tsunami happening right now, it requires more and more harmonic waters for people to come to, a safe haven for them to gather their nerves, gather their purpose, just
Yes.
gather their beingness so that they can discover their own instrument and play it in a safe space.
Discover your own instrument. I love that. I think of the very same thing. I say it a tiny bit differently, but it's everyone has, I call it the song of your soul, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that song, that it may be the art of your soul. It may be something that isn't musical, but it's a
Right.
wonderful way to say it. Just we all
Yes.
have some gift that we want to
Yeah.
express and give to the world. I love how you're saying it, to find your instrument. That is just so beautiful. Um, and the fundamentals of making that happen, the world we live in where you and I can connect
Mm-hmm.
over thousands of miles, the technology is
Mm-hmm.
here, the abundance is here. I think you talked about
Yes.
how people live more in a lack
Yes.
mentality, where if we all understand how the universe is abundant
Mm-hmm. And
and that we
enriching.
enriching, and yeah,
Yeah.
the competition and the way that
Yes.
we have structured things, we're evolving, and capitalism is evolving, business is
Mm.
evolving, and things are happening now faster than ever before. And again, that's why there's this sense of urgency in
Yes.
shop class. I feel like
Oh,
we have
yes.
to hurry up and help more people
I
to
100% agree with you.
to hurry up and calm
Yes.
down.
Yes. But while people are going, ah, you kind of got to hit them on that. Okay, ah, let's, oh.
Yes.
And sometimes I think just like encouraging people to have a damn good scream.
Yeah. Mm.
Scream, scream,
Whoa. A
scream
good
until you
cry.
drop to your knees or cry. All right. Do whatever it is that spends that negative energy, that exhausts you.
Yes.
Then that's have time to nurture yourself, love yourself, give yourself the gift of time to truly love yourself and rise up in that new energy. But
Yep.
sometimes we've got to, deposit the old energy because otherwise, if we try and put the new energy with the old is so chaotic, it will chew the new energy up.
Yep. Oh, I love it, Sarah. The blending of what I think is profound for conversation purposes, and actually to use this as a tool, is to understand that ancient wisdom has been talking about these concepts for thousands and
Ever.
thousands, forever, right? And there's a very deep well of understanding, and really almost a longing for that ancient wisdom, for that connection to the higher forces. And we've distracted ourselves in this modern world with all of our gizmos and gadgets. But that's also part of the plan, part of the story. That's a
Yeah.
good thing. We discovered medicines,
Mm-hmm.
discovered surgical techniques and devices that have made us live longer, healthier, cure diseases, all these wonderful things through science. And I feel like we're at that, I call it again, a tipping point
Yes.
of
Mm-hmm.
understanding that the ancient wisdom and the modern science, we blend that together
Yeah. Yeah.
for an optimized living experience, for an optimized world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what shop class is about. It's about
Mm.
bringing those elements together and personalizing it, because again, I'm going to borrow from you.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us finding our instrument,
Mm-hmm.
tuning our instrument, and singing our song, playing
Yes.
our
Yes.
whatever it is, or painting the painting, whatever it is, we've all got some gift,
Expressing of self.
expressing things. We need practical tools to be
Yes.
able to do that.
Are you
That
are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
I know just enough about the Lord of the Rings to be dangerous.
Okay. There was a wonderful scene where the elves are leaving, and they say it is that the elves have had their time. It is now time for man.
Okay, okay.
I now feel we're in reverse. I feel man,
Hmm.
human, has had its time. We now need the wisdom
Ooh,
of the high powers, the elves, to come back in and
right.
show us what our knowledge is for. I'm a knowingness person. So the knowingness is the divine truth, the universal truth that speaks to your soul. It gives it to your heart to understand. It gives it to your spirit in action. And it shows your mind exactly what it needs to know in clarity when it needs to know it.
Mm.
right? If we don't understand the wisdom, we're not going to understand the knowledge. The wisdom shows us how to use the knowledge. We, of man, have gathered the knowledge, but what we've forgotten is how to really use it. We've become destructive with it rather than creative with it. And this is why we need the wisdom to come along and to show us actually how to use it in a conscious way, in a way that serves all of us, in a way that it takes us beyond our own limitations as a human and shows us the beingness of our humanness and shows us how to elevate ourselves up to a higher level. Now, 8 years ago, the universe gave me a saying: I'm going to shake you up to wake you up, for you to step up and change it up and grow up vibrationally to a higher consciousness, but also as a human race, grow up.
Yes. That's beautiful. You've spoken often about higher
Mm-hmm,
levels of consciousness,
mm-hmm.
and I agree with you. Um, the universal wisdom and what I'm referring to as epiphany.
Yes,
You talked about a knowingness,
yes.
right? And I believe in that, and I believe I had to get the cosmic whack upside the head to be able, or at least accept it, right?
Yes.
So that an epiphany, a knowingness could penetrate into my heart and
Mm-hmm,
soul,
mm-hmm.
into my bones, and give me the ability to accept my mission, to accept the thing, to love what my life is, to love what I'm supposed to be doing,
In
and
a
it really
simple way.
in a simple,
Yes,
profound way. Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
Kind of
Um,
going back to your roots of being on the farm. There
yeah,
are the
absolutely.
ABCs of being on the farm, but there was the simplicity,
Hmm.
right? And it was also the time to actually enjoy nature and
Hmm.
the gift of what the world has to give. We've saturated ourselves with this and that and device and da
Yeah,
da da. We do not give ourselves the time to just be present, to
yeah.
pause, to breathe, to just take in, because we're all
Hmm.
busy, phones, this, that, etc. And it's like in that pause, which, they were trying to give you a pause, but you weren't paying attention. So they gave you a full stop. Um, in that, it is time to really reflect. And in that reflection, it's like, okay, my upbringing was this because that's what I meant to teach.
Yeah,
The simplicity, the appreciation,
yeah,
right? The wonderment and and the application of that simplicity in
yeah.
order to bring equilibrium to our lives.
Yes. Ah, that's beautiful. Um, you remind me, Sarah, that yeah, that farm upbringing
Mm-hmm.
and who my mother was. She was a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful human being, incredibly smart, incredibly funny, very loving. My father was an amazing human being, just one of the most faithful, faith-filled people, and he lived his faith. It wasn't just
Mm-hmm.
talk. But they were very different. My mother struggled with some anxieties. My mother struggled with some things that, unfortunately, she never really conquered all the way.
Mm-hmm.
My dad wasn't perfect either, but the two of them, I'm the seventh out of eight kids. And
That's a
I
very
just got
cosmic
to,
number, the seventh.
yeah, I got to be in position to
Mm.
have this extremely blessed, extremely, really easy, fun, all the love, all the understanding, all the compassion. I mean, I just had a great childhood. The farm teaches you those simple
Yes,
lessons, like you said,
yes.
about
The
nature, about
fundamentals and,
life and
the
death.
routine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so now to take that, I feel,
Mm.
the blessing of how,
Yes,
I'm born in a great family. I'm born
yeah.
in the freedom of the United States of America in the 20th century. No limitation, just fabulous.
Mm.
And then you learn these lessons. I'm
Mm.
52 years old.
Young.
And to be able to pay that forward, to be able to see that so clearly, and not just with my eyes, but with my heart and soul,
Yes.
be able to take that and help other people. Because I have a very childlike way of thinking too, right? I feel like I have a great
Good. Good.
wisdom that's been
Yes.
given to me as a gift. But if I talk to, someone that's in their teens, their 20s, their 30s. I remember very vividly being that age. I remember what it was like to think that way and to, be unburdened, but not have the understanding of, I was right there. I got to live through my parents' the last couple months of their life, and I was front and center. I was I was there with my brothers and sisters. I had a lot of help, but I was in the participation level
Mm,
seat as their lives came to an end. And it was just profound lessons of and conversation that I had with each of them that has shaped my point of view. And then
hmm.
through those near death, I claim in that book that I've died 3 times. Right.
Yes.
And my wife inspired me to think of it that way. I've been defibrillated twice. So I've been this close to being gone. And the third one, this is, it's a biblical thing, but I believe in you die to your old self. You die to some of
Hmm.
the things that you wouldn't let go of. And again, that's something that we don't need to get tangled up in religious
No.
conversation, but just the
Yeah.
idea that you let go of some things that are now they're
Hmm.
gone. That's dead to me. Is quite profound, and helping people figure out their own unique path and find their instrument and
Yeah.
tune it. Woo! That's what life is
That's
about for
that's
me.
the illumination, right? That's the joy. And that, and you
Yes.
talk about childlike, it's that somewhere along the line is grow up, be serious. No, no, please bring your childlike out there. Bring your
Bring your
child
child
into it.
in.
Your child carries a simplistic wisdom that
Yes.
we lose when we don't listen to our inner child.
Yep.
Now, I've got three grandchildren, 3 months to 4 years. And so Nana can be as silly as she wants to be with them,
Yes.
right? I mean, it's
Yes.
absolutely wonderful. Get up and dance, start singing opera, doing all the things that used to irritate my kids, doing to my
I
grandchildren.
love that. I
And
love
it's
that.
it's such a wonderful liberation because it is all about, especially I was brought up in Britain, right? So, stiff upper lip and don't show your emotions and all that. And then my mother and I moved to South Africa and it just became a total different view of life. Suddenly, my mother,
That's
from being pearls and
wonderful.
tweeds and doing good works after my dad died, is in a back on a motorcycle and in a wig, kind of experiencing life like I never knew.
That's
And that's the point.
amazing.
Life is to be experienced. But what we
It
have to
is.
have is this little compass inside of us that goes, yes, go down that road, but don't forget to feel where the danger is.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about fear being your companion, not the
Mm-hmm.
fear that paralyzes you or the fear that's dictated to control you. I call it the common sense fear. And the common sense fear is don't put your hand in the fire, don't walk in front of a bus, don't
Right.
jump off that cliff. You just may not make it, right? It's common sense fear, and
Exactly.
you learn to recognize it when it speaks to you. Take that with you on your journey of wonderment and self-discovery. It will stop you from stepping off a cliff, but it will open up adventures and beautiful experiences that you never thought that you could have, because somewhere along the line somebody told you you weren't deserving, or you
Yeah.
couldn't do that, or you're not allowed to do that, or you should do this, right? We take all of those and go, but I am who I am, Popeye, and I love who I am, and I want to explore why
Yeah.
I'm here and who am I here to serve and how.
Yes. Ah, that is beautiful.
Take the
Um,
restraints off.
yes, you take the limitations
Yes,
off. You take like you said, when we are a child, and
yes.
we unfortunately, the world can rob us of that at a
Hmm.
very young age,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
If you're blessed to have two loving parents and a beautiful environment like I had, you can stay in that mode for a very long time. But rediscovering who you
Hmm.
were born to be, it's almost like the all the potential and a wonderful plan for you is there when you're born. And if everything goes well, you will learn those lessons. You will go through those potentially
Hmm.
hard times.
Hmm.
You will respond to the first few knocks on the head, and
Yeah.
you will evolve and have this, this adventurous life. And we all know that it doesn't happen that easily. We all know that there are limitations put on us and experiences that drive us off course, and it doesn't always, you know, shake out perfectly, but it's all about at some stage of our life recognizing, hey, I have agency.
Mm,
I need hope, right? We need the
yes.
feeling of hope that tomorrow will be better than today. But once you've got some tools, once you've got some ways to understand your life, you need a little bit of a rear view mirror. You need to know a little bit about where you came
Mm,
from and what tree you've conked your head on falling out of. But then the map to go forward and
mm.
to unpack and remove those limitations and find your instrument. That's the beauty of life. And Sarah, I can't thank you enough for, talking with me at this high level today. I can feel that energy. I can feel the spirit. This is just really fun to kick this back and forth with you today. Whew, I love it.
The one thing that you're doing, and I've been doing podcasting for nearly 14 years and on over 3,000 shows. And one of the things I absolutely love is people who have had mega cosmic two by fours,
Hmm.
um, that real thing in life of this happened to me, how do I make it happen for me? And it's the discovery of their courage, the
Mm,
discovery of their strength, the discovery of their purpose, the
yes.
discovery of their abilities, the discovery of their service. And
Yeah.
without that experience, without all that happened to them, they couldn't stand in their light, in their illumination today,
Right.
and be that beacon of hope for others in their service without that experience.
Hmm.
You can have people that are bookwormed as bookwormed with certificate after certificate, but unless they've had some experiences to truly understand,
Yeah.
they can't comprehend. And
That's
there's
true.
this something that I came across, George Oswell is saying, is that do we really want to be loved or do we want to be understood? And that stayed with me. And I've done a whole entire show this week on that because it was really hit with me. And I realized that through my life battle was being understood.
Yeah.
I was loved this way. I was loved what I could do. I loved this, that. But where did somebody see me in who I am and understood who I am?
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
And I think when we are understood and people truly understand us and embrace us anyway, that is love.
Yes. Ah, I love that. A great teacher once told a group of us that as you start to build your wisdom, you start to pursue wisdom and start to move in a direction that you feel like you
Yeah.
really need to go in. And, at some point level, you want to go in. Those two start to really align. The ultimate, and I think what you just said, I'm trying to echo it, Sarah, is that you want to be in a place where you are celebrated
Yes.
rather than simply tolerated.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
powerful. And
Very.
and and we all have
And
unique.
not compared or
Right,
competed
right,
against,
right,
right?
right.
That you are your own beautiful, unique self and you were celebrated for being
Yep.
that unique self.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
And if you're chop shop, what you're doing, which I love the name of the title, by the way,
Shop
is
class.
shop class or chop class.
Shop shop. There's something there.
But you're kind of chopping people up into different sections of themselves and putting themselves back together
Hmm.
because we get so caught up in a dictation,
Hmm.
in an expectation, in our failures, which I just call experiences.
Yep.
I think failures when you give up and you give in.
Yes. Yes.
If you got knocked down and you get back up, it's just a redirect. It's just a
Yeah.
lesson learned.
Yep.
And when we realize this part of you, and there's a beautiful word called flawsome. And
Mm.
we have these wonderful flaws that make us uniquely who we are.
Awesome.
When we
Okay.
become awesome in our flaws, and
Yes.
I don't mean detrimental flaws, I mean kind of quirks and flaws that
Right.
just make us who we are, we become
Yep.
flawsome,
That is awesome.
right?
I love it.
We've got to,
Flawsome.
we've got to get rid of this word imperfection or perfection or
Yeah.
imperfection. We have to understand we have perfect moments in life,
Yep.
but we're not to live meant to live in perfection.
No, no, no. It's almost impossible. And
Yeah.
in trying to pursue perfection,
Oh my
you,
God. Uh,
yeah, it's that I think, our daughter is 18 and we kept her away from social media as long as possible. She was 17 years old when we finally, it was kind of her choice. We had made a deal and she finally wanted it bad enough. But we always talked about that. Don't let the comparison to
yes.
that perfect thing you're seeing on Instagram, that I don't want to, I never want to be, I don't want to attack anybody, but I want her to know that a lot of people put their best. It's like a highlight reel on Instagram. Don't
Or
think that
AI
that's,
version of them.
yeah. Don't compare yourself to
Yeah.
that idealized and
Yes.
stylized thing that you're seeing. And that's true for all of us. Don't allow the comparison to steal your joy, right?
It's a
Um,
facade
it's a facade. Yeah,
because, everything is roses and underneath it, they've got thorns. All right. And the
exactly.
person that will say, I've got thorns, but look, from there has become a rose.
Yeah,
I've got thorns, but from there, there is another bushel. That is somebody that's more honest. And, all social media, as we are algorithms,
yep,
right? What we
yep,
feed is what will grow. What we respond to is what will come back. So, yes, be on
yep,
social media, but follow the people that you can empower, that empower you. Speak to the
yes,
positivity. That doesn't mean you're living in la la land and you don't know what's going on and that you can't hold them accountable, but rather support the people that are standing up against them, empower ourselves,
yep,
and stop buying this illusion,
yes.
which, let's face it, is all consumerism. It's
Mhm.
always to get you to buy something. There's something wrong with you, and
Yeah.
I can fix you at 29.99 and in
Yeah.
6 weeks, right? And it's like the buyer beware.
Yeah.
And we used to get this in, you know, before the internet, we'll get it in the trash magazines and this and that. Now we just get it trash social media.
Yeah.
And that also goes with your friends around you.
Hmm.
If you're in transition and you're really wanting to make that self-discovery and you want to go through this, simple paradigm of who am I, why am I, what am I here to do? There's going to be people who will try and hold you back,
Hmm. For
right?
sure.
And
Yep.
part of it is they don't want you to succeed because it means maybe they've got to do something. Or part of it is who do you think you are? I want you to stay in misery and
Yeah.
anger with me.
Yep.
And you have to be very, very careful of who you have around you while you're in the transitional phase,
Yep.
right?
And
And
they
it's
usually
okay to
don't know
say,
it.
yeah, yeah,
They usually don't know that they're trying to hold you back. Maybe sometimes they do.
yes,
No, you're absolutely right. The gravity of the people around you as you are trying to elevate yourself, trying to express a better version of yourself, the people you hang around with is extremely important, and can tip the balance against you if you're not careful. That's very true.
exactly. And
Yep.
so it's very, very important that, I used to have a company called The Importance of You, not self-importance, right?
I like that. I
That
like that.
self-importance is what we're seeing right now in politics. But when it's the importance of you, you must nourish yourself. You
Hmm.
must oxygenate yourself. You
Yes.
must give yourself all the nurturing and all the encouragement, all the wisdom, and all the participation and support that you can. That is the importance of you, because only when you are fully nourished are you truly able to serve and help other people. So it's imperative
Absolutely.
that you are.
Yep.
Self-importance is people who are hiding behind a facade. There's the little child inside of them trying to say to them, look at me, and I need a fast car. I need $1 billion. I need a presidency, because I'm inadequate inside, because they're unwilling to take the journey of their own self-discovery. You can only help those that are willing to help themselves.
Absolutely, Sarah. You said it so well. Um, who we're meant to be can easily be glossed over and kind of buried in our consumerism, in
Hmm.
our drug use, in
Hmm.
all sorts of ways to entertain and distract ourselves. And that's become very, very normal. And I love how you said that you need that nourishment and you need it
Yes.
constantly. I have to have
Yes.
those daily rituals, my morning ritual. I believe the open door to consciousness happens, right after sleep and right before sleep.
Mm.
And so I think back to, how many times I would fall asleep buzzed or drunk and,
Yeah.
and wake up hungover and groggy. It's just,
Not a good
it,
way to start the
no,
day.
no.
Not a good
Um,
way to go to sleep.
no. And when you're young, your tolerance for that is so much higher. And at some point there's just a maturity that I just wasn't willing to accept
Yeah.
fast enough. And once you start playing this energy game and
Hmm.
appreciating the difference in how you
Yeah.
feel, when you start to take care of yourself and you start to get your mind, your body, your spirit all going in the same direction, it's fabulous. That's the most hands-on practical piece of shop class is get your
Hmm.
energy going right. We haven't even we've been together now for almost an hour. We haven't talked about money at all.
No.
One of the foundational elements of shop class is to square up and get your finances robust and healthy.
So
Because
it
let's face it,
supports you,
that's
right?
it.
Doesn't define you, but
No.
supports you. Yes.
Right. It's the world we live in, whether we like it or not,
Yeah.
money is the currency and it is the way that we provide for those basic needs. And if you can have that in a very almost automatic and good position for yourself, then this all the things we're talking about and becoming your best and
Mm.
playing, identifying your instrument and playing
Mhm.
it, singing it out. I love that idea that you're just singing it, Sarah. Then it becomes life can become a game
Yes.
if we're willing to take care of our business. And it's just
Set it up that the money is working for you. You're not
yes,
working for the money. All right.
100%.
Set it up the money does support your calling.
Yep,
Right? That it
that's
gives
it.
you the security you need in order to get out and do what you need to do. But
Exactly.
don't chase the money
Right.
as like when I'm rich, then I'm important. No, we want you to be self-important, right? Importance of self. Um, and the money is there to support you. And if you happen to get stinking rich, then it's there to seed opportunities for other people.
Yes.
But ultimately, it's there to be part of your nurturing and support you in the gift that you are so
Yes.
that you can share that gift out with others.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it.
So we're going to go through all of the things now. So obviously you have the book, um,
Yes.
and tell people how the people get hold of the book.
So yeah, Shop Class with John Ryan. This is a guidebook to an experience. So I say that it's tools plus philosophy times a process equals an optimized you. I'm happy to give people a free copy of this book. They can email me.
Hmm.
They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me I have a Facebook page, John Ryan Financial Coaching. You're welcome to put those things. I don't know, Sarah, if you're going to publish those
Yes,
things
I'll go through
for
them.
me.
You're on LinkedIn, which is Coach John Ryan,
Yes.
Facebook, John Ryan Coach, and
Yes.
then Instagram Coach. Um, and obviously, you're with Prudential as
Yes.
an advisor. So people can go to prudential.com/advisor/John Ryan, and
Correct.
they can see how you can help them financially. A lot of ways for people in that discovery, they look, I really do want to secure my finances
Hmm.
in order for me to explore my options, right? And I think that, having kind of set the money in, like, here's your foundation. This is here what's to support you.
Yes.
Um, this is, you can grow it whenever you want, but at the present moment, it's there to give you the time to discover yourself and go through the process of your own self-discovery, your own meaningful purpose, your own reason why. and give
Yes.
you that security. So whether you go through securing the money first or securing yourself because you have the money, it's all part parcel and it's all part and parcel of your
Absolutely.
thing. And of course, you're giving away a 15-minute introductory call
Yep.
through Zoom or phone, a free copy of the shop class
Yes.
and the introductory course, so people can have that conversation and go, okay, I need you. Where do we go from here?
Yes. Yeah, I love it. And the thing that I have worked really hard to create, Sarah, is a position where I can help people at a much younger age. So many
Mm,
people know what financial advice sounds like. They know what financial
yes,
advice used to be. The new model of coaching and helping people understand all the elements, energy, work, and love, time, money, and problem solving really is something that you want to get going with that much
yes,
younger than people think, right? It's not
yes.
about, hey, I'm starting to think about retirement. Let me find this financial advice. It's, hey, I'm working now. How can I
Hmm.
optimize and find my instrument now and
Hmm.
start to build the life that you want to build? And again, that's where I talk about. I feel sad I didn't bring one with me. It's a Rubik's cube, right? You
Hmm.
want to start solving the
Yeah,
puzzle so that it comes together on all sides, not just a single problem solving act, but it's your whole life that
yeah.
you want to start to map out and start to develop that feeling of energy. That's the magic
Mm.
of shop class, is the feeling that you create when you're moving in the right direction with your energy, your work, and your love. That's
Energy
the
will always
essence.
open up to creation. It will always. When you
Yes.
step into it, you start to see possibilities in front of you that were blocked before. And, I'm just on the side note, I'm gathering authors for our next book, which is Our Forgotten Seniors. And we're going to celebrate what their contribution is, their challenges are. But one of the things that we're going to be have them talk about is how to prepare for their seniorship.
Mm,
Because how many
love it.
people are going through suddenly they hit the senior mark and they haven't prepared for it. And
Mm,
now they can't afford to be a senior.
yep.
So financially, you really do want to have something. There's a senior garden growing for you that when you do reach that, it ain't got weeds, it's flourishing and it's there to support
Yeah.
you. So, that's one of the things that is so important that youth don't think about. But when we show them, look, you want to live a long time, a meaningful purpose, something that you get up and enjoy every day, and you want to live to a right old age. But unless you financially support that old age,
Yeah.
right, it means you're going to be working until you pass. So, it's I think it's something that's very important for people to understand.
100%. Beautiful.
Because my generation wasn't there was no talking about that. It's
Mm.
and so, we ran into that trouble of what, this is what I have to live on my pension. So I don't want you to be here, folks. I want you to have abundance. And I'll just share a quick story on that, where somebody I know who goes and fixes computers for seniors. And this one couple had 1.2 million when they moved into this retirement living, not a
Hmm.
home, but a retirement living. And they thought it would last them the rest of their life. And they outlived their money and
Oh.
they were put in the basement on cots in their 90s,
Oh. That
right?
is so
So,
sad.
what you think is a lot of money today in the expense of things down the road doesn't necessarily mean it will be.
No.
And so, yes, we don't want you to identify with money or become, money becomes your identification, but we do want you to identify how important money is in your role of your own illumination.
100%. Yeah, you said it well, Sarah. That's a sad story.
Mm.
Um, I'll echo, the one of the big reasons I chose to do this in the second half of my life. My parents um, didn't plan either. They
Hmm.
didn't. It was kind of taboo. You didn't talk about this
No.
stuff. My
Dirty thing, talking
mother
about money.
worked and she, separated the finances. She had her money and my father kind of had his. She fired him, if you will, from running the finances. And the reason that the only thing that worked for them in having a decent life as they got older was the fact that my father worked until he died.
Mm,
And that was not a good thing. That was not, he identified as a worker, and so he was able to push through it. But I learned from him late in life. He wished he had done differently. He wished he had not overextended himself,
mm.
as he said it. And so yeah, it's
Or
very
have,
sad.
or not have the desire or the vision or the belief that there is something outside of work that you can explore,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
no,
I
that's
mean, we
exactly
get
right.
to a certain age, I'm 71, we get to a certain age where we should be able to explore, joy and things
Yes,
that we can afford because we've already kind of put in 50 years, right?
I
So,
agree.
it's not in
Yes,
my case, but I want it to be in other people's cases. So,
100%.
obviously, I want you to reach out to them. How do they reach out for your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram? Do you want to give your email or you prefer
Yes,
people reach
absolutely.
out that way?
So John.Ryan, JOHN.RYAN at prudential.com. Send me an email, jump on LinkedIn, go to that prudential.com advisors/John Ryan website. Send me a note. Please let
Mm.
me know how I can help. And we'll talk for 15 minutes, and I'd be happy to send you a copy of the shop class book. I love people. I'm in the heart and soul business, Sarah.
Yes.
The clients that work with me tend to work with me for a very long time. And I've just got some amazing stories of overcoming, everyday problems, overcoming the challenges, the gravity of the habits that hold people back, and of couples becoming unified on the same
Mm.
page with the sometimes difficult subject of money. So, love
And where
people.
you're different is not about like psychiatry or things where it is keep you a patient because it keeps them, and money.
No,
It is about empowering them and them becoming part of the village where you are the support,
exactly.
right?
Love
So
that.
that's the
Thank you.
difference. Because that's a very big difference. A lot of people want to keep people dependent on them because it's an income, but you illuminate them, set them on the path, but they always know that they're a part of that village and
Yes.
that you're still there to support them on their journey. And in turn, they become illuminators for other people on that journey.
Yes. It's beautiful. I'm very blessed.
When you find something that really is meaningful to you, that you really like every day you wake up, I'm so grateful I can do this today, right? That your heart is in it, your spirit is in
Yes.
it, your soul is open to receive the wisdom for it. And then you're on the right path, right? But to get there, you've
Exactly.
got to do a lot of deprogramming. You've got to let
Hmm.
go of a lot of stuff. You've got to do a lot of self-discovery of who are you, why are you, what is your instrument? And
Yes.
then once you've discovered that, well, okay, now how do I use this instrument? You've got to learn how to
Exactly.
use it. And then
Yeah.
when you get there, then it's like, oh, just set yourself free to be, right? It's
It's
about your
beautiful.
beingness, right? So, yeah, I want everyone to get this feeling. So, you helping them along this way and the balance. A lot of people, help people on the spiritual journey, but not the financial one. And the fact
Yeah.
that you've got that lovely triangle where it is, let's take care of all of it so it all supports one another, gives
Yeah.
people a foundation which to grow from.
Thank you. You said it so well, Sarah. It's wonderful to talk with you. I'm so happy that we got to know each other.
Yes, definitely.
You are doing a beautiful thing with your podcast, and I cannot say a big enough thank you to you.
Well, even though I get wonderful guests like you, it makes it extremely easy, and that's what I'm here for, is to show the people who have the answers, how they can participate, and that there is always hope. There is always somebody there to help them if they're willing
Indeed.
to participate in their own healing with the tools and skills that you have. So that's what it's about. So thank you so much, John, for being with us here today.
You are very, very, very welcome, and thank you, Sarah.
Remember, folks, this is a journey. It's not about the destination. You're going to have so many chapters in your book of life. And if you've got a chapter right now that is just, ugh, having you in the pit and you can't get out of it, then you need help to get out of it. You need help to create a foundation for a new chapter from which your story can grow. So reach out to John and let him help you on that journey. Until next time, folks, bye for now. This show was brought to you by Mortgages Done Better with Damian Ross. Go to selfdiscoverywisdom.com under sponsors and put in Damian Ross to know more and how he can help you. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you to listen to right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Come and hear the illumination that's going to shed light on your path.
Find your path with the knowledge of others.